Hey, you guys, we're back in the den working. Don't mind my hair, child. I'm just chilling today. It's a Saturday and I'm feeling good, doing some work. And I just had an epiphany, you guys, about man's rejection, God's protection. Like, I just felt like I had to speak on it, and I know people talk about soul contracts and, why people come together and things like that, but we never really think about why people are split apart. It's always something looked at as, subconsciously, I feel like we look at being split apart from someone as negative, or, unintentionally we see being split apart from someone as negative, but it's not always negative. So welcome to episode 16 of the Real Emotion series, you guys. Ooh. Okay. So I hope you're enjoying the messages here. Thank you guys so much for all of your love and support through these messages that I'm getting out. And if you're new here, I hope that you gain a message. If you've clicked on this reading, I'm not reading, but if you've clicked on this video, it might mean that you need to hear a message in this message. Okay. But what I just got was how abandonment changed my life. Looking at someone leaving from a different perspective, the low lows and the high highs of relationships and why they end abruptly. Spirit gives people a chance to prove themselves. Trust that, okay? So I feel like some of you watching this may have felt that someone abandoned you, or you may have felt abandoned your whole life. You may be going through abandonment issues. Maybe somebody ghosts you, or, you just don't have a lot of information or closure as to why a situation didn't work out or why someone left your life. Okay, first of all, man's rejection is God's protection, but it's hard to accept that when you say something about it. How abandonment changed my life is that a lot of times people who left my life were meant to leave my life because they didn't mean me any good. They meant me harm, right? But it's like you don't feel that in the moment. In the moment, you feel this energy of being rejected. You feel an energy of not being worthy, or people not wanting you, or you not being good enough, okay? A lot of times people leave you out of nowhere because they don't feel like they're good enough. But instead of saying that and admitting to that, they put that pressure on you. So I feel like that's why people feel that they aren't good enough, or they feel like it's something bad about being left. But try to look at it from a different perspective, because there are a lot of people who have come into my life that God has tried to remove, or that spirit has tried to push away, but I have forced the situation and allowed those people to stay in my life. And then I get fucked up, or I lose money, or I start having issues mentally or emotionally because I did not allow those people to cycle out of my life. I had a lot, and I feel have somewhat of abandonment issues. I feel like I'm getting over them gradually, slowly but surely. But I still have abandonment issues from my father abandoning me. But now that I know who he is, like looking at it from hindsight, looking at it, because hindsight is always 20/20, right? And I don't have my selfie stick because I just decided to turn on the camera. But hindsight is always 20/20. And when I look at how my father is right now and the ways that he's like fucked up my siblings or maybe siblings' life, not sure if they're really his kids, or he took claim over somebody's children, or whatever. Semantics, it doesn't matter. But I see their experiences. I've met like my father's side of the family. I didn't know my father. My father basically left my life when I was 4 years old. My mom kicked his ass out, okay? He used to ride around with me drinking beer, let me drink the beer, okay? Let him tell it. He didn't do that, but, he was not a very good influence. He was not a very good person. I have some issues with that, I feel like, as well, like with my sexuality. Like, I feel that I don't know. I just feel I don't know if my father abused me when I was a child. I swear he'll deny it to this day, but like as my life has gone on and different epiphanies have reached my life, I feel like I don't know if my father inappropriately touched me at one point in life. I have a memory of seeing my father exposed, right? And I don't know where that's coming from. I know it sounds weird, but this series is for me to have a more vulnerable approach to my thoughts. So, you know, I do feel like there was something inappropriate that happened between me and my father. And I don't know if I'll ever know truly what it is, but I don't get a good feeling. And as a Pisces, I know intuitively that there's a reason why I feel that way, and I'm not going to doubt it. I feel like my father either allowed me to be in a situation that made me very vulnerable in a sexual way, or there was inappropriate speech or sexual behavior around me that was going on that has affected my connection to my own sexuality. I know it's there, right? And I always wonder why my dad didn't want me or why my dad left and things like that. My mom would always try to comfort me, and she would always say, it's not about you, it's about him. It's nothing that you did, it's his issues. They're not your issues. So at the time, not being able to understand maybe the severity of the situation, I felt that it was my fault for being abandoned. But seeing it in hindsight, and after 20 some plus years, meeting back up with my father again, not knowing where he was, and before my youngest son was born, finding him and his family, and then hearing stories of them being in sexually compromising situations because of him or the environment he allowed them to be in, it's like it clicks. It makes sense. And it's something that I felt for a long time, and it's something that I didn't really realize, but now it's like something that I can't deny was me being protected. Even in relationships with people who did not have my best interest at heart, there were a lot of times where I could have exited. There were a lot of times where spirit, where God, where the universe gave me an exit and gave me an out, but I forced it because I was like, no, it has to work. It has to work. It has to work. Just get that thought out of your mind. It doesn't have to work. It doesn't have to fail. Things can go the way that you feel like they need to go, but if it feels like it's something that's forced, more than likely you may be forcing a square peg into a round hole. And maybe God is trying to protect you from something that you're not aware that you need to be protected from yet. And I feel like looking at it from a different perspective, as maybe this person meant you harm, or maybe this person didn't have your best interest at heart, or maybe this person was a gold digger, they were trying to steal from you, or maybe this person was putting you in harm's way. Even if they didn't mean you harm, they could have you in environments where you're in harm's way. Those are all ways that God and spirit is trying to protect you. And I feel like as people, we need to take more heed to that. We need to take more of an objective approach. I feel like when somebody leaves you or you have abandonment issues, you feel super, super low. But I feel as you progress through those emotions and you evaluate where they're coming from and why you're feeling them, then you start to feel really good about yourself. The highs are just as strong as the lows. So if you're in a situation now where you feel abandoned, where you feel left behind, think about that person's personality, or think about that situation. Think about the ways that it made you feel mentally and physically and spiritually, and really evaluate if that situation was the best situation for you. Be real with yourself. Like, none of this shit is going to work if you're not being real with yourself. None of the evolution of your soul is going to happen if you lie to yourself about it. And a lot of times, you know, if we don't listen to those guidances from spirit, then we will be allowed to be put in situations that are not at our best interest because we're not listening to the messages that God is trying to tell us. So, I mean, this is just a quick one, you guys. It was just a little epiphany that I had. And I feel like all of the people, that's why I said how abandonment changed my life. Abandonment changed my life because it allowed me to have space to grow in a positive, productive way, the way I was meant to grow. All of the people who have left me, all of the people who I feel like did not have my back, did not support me, did not champion for me, allowed me not only to become stronger and champion for myself, but it allowed me to realize my true strength and my true power. And ultimately that allowed me to realize my life's purpose, my goals, what I'm supposed to be here for, what I'm supposed to accomplish. And I'm really thankful for that. So just a little tidbit. I love y'all. Just me looking all regular on a Saturday, bitch. Relaxing, doing some readings. I hope you guys are doing amazingly well. I hope that if you're in a situation now where you feel left or you feel abandoned, you feel alone, that you understand that you're meant to be there right now. And it doesn't make you any less of a person. It actually makes you someone who is very anointed, someone who is very protected, someone who is very guarded over by spirit. And it asks you, I accidentally said ask you. So it may be causing you to ask yourself, what is really important in your life? What is it that you really want for your life? What is it that you really need? And what is it that you don't need? And I feel like the universe is trying to get you to ask that question of yourself so that you can realize really how blessed you are, okay? So I hope that you guys enjoy the message. As always, I love you, my love. Sorry the camera is so shaky. Not that it isn't regularly shaky, but thank y'all so much for being here. Of course, leave comments, leave feedback. Be sure to subscribe if you have not already. And have a great day. Peace, boo.